We'll call this meeting to order, and we will start with the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Could I request a roll call, please, from the clerk?
Excuse me really quick. Commissioner Amon. Present. Commissioner Doris.
Here.
Commissioner Halley.
Here.
Vice Chair Nichols.
Here.
Chair Kine.
Here. Great. Now we'll be moving on to oral comments from the public. Anything that the public would like to say that does not pertain to the current agenda, they're welcome to come up and speak. But first, we will start with anybody online.
No one online.
Okay. Is there anybody in the chambers who would like to speak? Yes. Okay. Come on up. Please state your name, and you'll have 3 minutes.
My name is Donald J. Cleek. I'd like to start off by saying that it brings me no pleasure to bring this issue before the commission today, but I feel this is necessary, and so I'm going to take the time to do it. I prepared a letter. I have copies for everyone following me reading this. So, dear planning commissioners, I'm coming in today to express my deep concerns over a troubling matter. My name is Donald J. Cleek. I've lived and worked in Humboldt County for my entire professional life, more than 27 years. In that time, I've permitted more than 1,000 construction projects throughout various jurisdictions, both in and outside of Humboldt County and the state of California. Within the last 3 years, it has become increasingly difficult to get projects approved or supported by the City of Fortuna Planning Department. When it comes to building permits, all building departments in the state of California are working from the same code. So there's a level of consistency and predictability that allows me to provide accurate fixed fee pricing to clients prior to developing the specific design and without consulting with the local building official. However, when it comes to planning departments, each individual jurisdiction writes their own municipal code, and then each planner has the authority to interpret that code at their individual discretion. Because of this, it is often necessary for me to discuss a project with planning staff to understand the position and likely interpretations prior to providing a service agreement to a client. While this is not the only project I am having or have had trouble getting planning approval or support of, I do not wish to muddle the issue by discussing anything other than this one particular project for the time being. There is a long and detailed history in the steps we have taken to attempt to get a permit that go back to our first inquiry to building and planning staff in December of 2024. I would be happy to account for details for anyone who would like to take the time to listen or review, but for today I need to keep it short and to the point that our latest plan set was turned into the building department on May 7th, 2025. And as of today, June 10th, 2025, we still do not have a formal response to our submittal. Because the current zoning for the parcel does not include a grange or a community hall, we are being told by planning that a conditional use permit must be sought, and because of the lack of parking, it would be denied. Despite the fact that the building has not been permitted as anything other than a grange hall since 1940. I may have forgot to mention I'm talking about the Roner Grange, specifically at Ronerville Road. The only reasoning I have heard so far is that it has not been used in quite a while. This is an unacceptable response to me and the current property owner, and I am left to wonder what the true motivation might be for a planner to choose to reject an application which would primarily benefit the youth of our community. I understand action cannot be taken at today's meeting, but I would like to invest whatever time is needed to follow up with this body or anyone else needed.
30 seconds.
Project approved and pass this unnecessary hurdle and move toward the actual construction improvements, which, by the way, consist solely of disabled access improvements, life safety improvements, and fire safety and energy efficiency upgrades. That's all we're proposing to do. We're not proposing to expand the footprint of the existing building or change its use in any way. I've also inquired with the police department and planning staff if there have been complaints about this property.
Unfortunately, you have ran out of time.
Thank you. Can you pass it to staff, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there anybody else from the public who would wish to speak? Okay. Then I will close public comment. Our next item on the agenda would be the consent calendar, but we will be, I believe we will be skipping the approval of those minutes. There are some issues that need to be resolved, and we will continue that till the next meeting. Moving on to item number 6, minor subdivision of assessors parcel number 200-062-005, resolution P020253127. And I'll hand it over to staff for their presentation.
Good evening, Chair Kine and honorable commissioners. I'm Sherry Meads, your Community Development Director. As you just mentioned, we're here tonight to review the Olson Sizemore minor subdivision of an assessor's parcel number 200-062-005. So this project is a pretty simple one. It can be called a lot split in the sense that it's only creating 2 parcels, but the City of Fortuna tends to call them a subdivision. Same thing, it's a minor subdivision, subdividing an almost 4-acre parcel into 2 parcels and finding the project to be exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act. So here's just a big overview of where the parcel is. It is at the corner of Fernwood and Penny Lane up in the northeastern part of the city. The general plan land use for the site is residential rural, and that designation provides specifically for single-family detached homes and other small developments that enhance and are compatible in a rural setting. It's generally limited due to extreme slopes, natural habitat, or other geologic and biological constraints. That's not true with this parcel per se, but it does meet the keeping it rather rural in nature. The residential density in the RR general plan land use is up to 1 unit per gross acre. And I want to make sure that I clarify that a gross acreage is the total acreage of a property or parcel encompassing all land within its legal boundaries. In other words, it's the raw, unadjusted acreage. So it doesn't look, it doesn't erase land for easements or anything like that. It is the entire parcel as noted in the general plan, and this subdivision includes 2 lots. Parcel 1 is exactly 1 gross acre, and parcel 2 is 129,373 square feet, or approximately 2.97 gross acres. So as you can see, it's consistent with the general plan land use designation. The zoning district is residential estates, which again is providing for low density areas, even areas where there would be a reduction potentially in streets, public utilities, and other public services that would not be possible in higher density residential areas. And there's a range of RE zoning districts based on lot size, and the idea between each of the classes is to implement the Fortuna general plan density and permit harmonious development of estate districts. And this project meets the RE 43 zoning district development standards in that both parcels are compliant with the minimum lot depth of 140 feet and minimum lot width of 150 feet. The front yard setback is 40 feet or more, rear yard setback 40 feet or more, side yard setback 20 feet or more. And in this particular case, we did not require that the applicant identify what would be the frontage of that first parcel. And the reason for this is it is potential for access to be taken to this particular site because of it being at the intersection of Fernwood Road at Penny Lane, and we didn't want to limit his development opportunities. It'll all depend on how he designs the home and all of that. But the tentative map itself includes those setbacks on it in terms of in a written form. So this just will allow him to meet those requirements, but in whatever way works for his particular development. And here's a picture of the tentative map. You have a copy of it in front of you if you would like to see it bigger. It's really hard to tell on these smaller slides or even what was presented with the agenda packet. But as you can see, it's basically taking one big parcel that has a lovely home on it at this point and turning it into 2 parcels. The newest parcel is the one down at the bottom. It's a 1 gross acre. and it will be a residential lot, so it can be used for residential lot. And then the remaining parcel is the applicant's home and a lovely area for horses for his wife. Both parcels are served by city water and PG&E utilities and will have county-approved septic systems. So there's certain required findings to approve a tentative map/subdivision. I've already discussed how it conforms to the general plan and zoning ordinance. The map conforms to the city improvement standards and specifications as shown in the required findings attached to the resolution. The site is physically suitable for the density and type of development, which at this point is, it's vacant, but it will eventually be residential if they so choose to develop it. And it is unlikely to cause any environmental damage or substantially and avoidably injure fish or wildlife or their habitat. It is not a site that includes that. The design of the subdivision is not likely to cause public health problems, and it will not conflict with any easements acquired by the public at large for access through or use of the property within the proposed subdivision. So staff is able to make all of those findings. The project is exempt from CEQA in that it is consistent with the environmental impact report that was certified for the city's general plan, where consistency is defined in CEQA guidelines section 15183, subdivision 1-2, to mean that the density of the proposed project is the same or less than the standard expressed for the involved parcel in the general plan, for which an environmental impact report has already been certified. And as mentioned, the parcels are within the general plan land use designation densities. And there are no exceptions outlined in the CEQA guidelines that this project would be subject to that would remove the ability to use that exemption. So staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve the project with the conditions of approval that are included in the resolution. And then there are the Planning Commission actions that we would ask your commission to follow. And I am here for any questions. And the property owner is here if we have any specific questions for him. Otherwise, he's here to just enjoy the show with his lovely wife. And I should also mention that we have the deputy city engineer here who is all about roads, sewer, our septic, water, all that infrastructure stuff.
All right, thank you, Sherry. At this time, I would like to invite the applicant up if they would like to speak about anything. You have 5 minutes.
I really don't have anything to say. That was a very well done. I will say that I am open for any questions whatsoever. Great presentation.
Okay, then I will bring it back and open it up to public comment. Is there currently anybody online?
There is no one online.
Is there anybody else in the chamber who would like to speak? No? Okay, I will close public comment and bring it back to the Planning Commission if they have any questions for staff or potentially for the applicant. Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm reviewing everything and knowing the location, I didn't think there'd be any problems or situations that I foresaw. I do have one random question just because I was interested in it. Obviously, I saw that water and other utilities were available at the site. Obviously, septic was the preferred method on that end. Is there a reason that the city does not have sewer at that location or the surrounding area? Is it just undeveloped rural area?
Yeah, those are all private. We do have laterals or mains that go into private areas, but we just haven't developed up there yet.
Okay, yeah, I know that's kind of common, so I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution P-2025-3127 and read by title only or proposed direction to staff.
I will second the motion.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Is there any other deliberation? Okay, hearing none, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Resolution P-2025-3127, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Fortuna approving with conditions a tentative parcel map to subdivide a 3.97 acre parcel, accessors parcel number 200-062-005, into two parcels and finding the project to be exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act. Commissioner Amon?
Yes.
Commissioner Doris?
Yes.
Commissioner Hallie?
Yes.
Vice Chair Nichols?
Yes.
Chair Kine?
Yes. All right, thank you very much. Moving on to the next item of business, Planning Commission business. Is there anything from staff communications?
Yes, again, I'm Sherry Means, your Community Development Director. We do have an exciting item coming to the next Planning Commission meeting. It will be a 66-bed supportive housing for seniors and folks with disabilities. It will be called the Humboldt Senior Resources Center Supportive Housing, and I hope everybody can be there. It'll be a design review, a conditional use permit, state density bonus, all the good things. And we need you all there to hopefully applaud this project through.
Anybody on the commission have any questions or concerns? Okay, well, this was seems like a fairly quick meeting. I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we are closed.